What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. My guest today has been in Land of the Dead, Get Rich or Die Trying, Step Brothers. You drank with Neil Patrick Harris on How I Met Your Mother.
I did.
You fought Vince Vaughn in True Detective.
And lost.
He is actor and comedian Pedro Miguel Arce.
What's going on, everybody?
Welcome, brother. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks
out.
for having me, man. It's nice and comfy.
So tell me, dude.
Yes, sir.
You were born in Nicaragua.
I was born in Managua, Nicaragua. Then we ran away from there.
At what age did you end up leaving?
I don't remember. I don't remember the age. I don't really remember the years. I don't even know how old I am because of all the mess that has been going on.
Yeah.
Once I left, and I could be one age or I could be another. I don't remember.
For real, eh? It's like
I've been lying about my age for a long time. I don't even remember. But I was a little kid when we left.
Yeah.
We left for a little while, and we were kind of like in Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras. Went back to Nicaragua. Went to Mexico. Went back to Nicaragua. Went to Miami.
Okay.
Lived a few years in Miami. An opportunity came up for my dad in Canada, and here we are.
And you've been living in Toronto?
Yes, living in Toronto. Last few years, I've kind of gone back and forth here in Los Angeles.
Okay.
But all my formative years were...
But do you have like a spot that you have in Los Angeles that you like live at?
I did up until COVID.
Okay.
Just before COVID, I had to give it up. And so I had a spot that was there for that I'd always go back to that same spot. All my mail would go to that spot.
That's awesome.
Now I lost that, and I'm in between LA homes. But once LA calls again, I'm sure I'll find something.
Yeah, there's a lot of work in Toronto, though. I feel like it's booming, man.
One of the things that COVID did was with the self-tapes, so you can audition anywhere in the world. For different things. So it was opened up. Hollywood is no longer those few blocks in LA. Now you can audition from anywhere in the world and go in and do that. And a lot of the times they don't even shoot in Los Angeles anymore. And there is a lot of work in Toronto. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's interesting. I never actually, as an outsider, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't like to, eventually, get into it. But as an outsider... it seems like the in-person, doing it in person would be better, but I never thought about, the possibilities of just, trying out at places that you can't really travel to, or it'd be just a pain in the ass and a lot of money.
Yes, I like it better, but the self-tape element of it, so you basically people would set something up, do their auditions at home. I myself had a little studio set up where it was just for my auditions, but now it's like actors come in, we work on their auditions, we put it out. A couple problems with that. Mm-hmm. One is you have complete control of your audition, which makes it so that you're sitting there 2 hours later trying to get that same line, that one line said properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you look at it and then you have 2 hours worth of the same line, and you go back and you look at it, I'm like, they're all the same. But they're all different. They feel different.
Yeah.
But it's I know a lot of actors that do that. I'm more of I go in and I do it, look at it, do another one just to have something to compare it to. And I'm like, I'm either the guy or I'm not. They're going to look at it and I'm like, I'm either it or I'm not. The way that I pronounce one word over another, that's not going to, change the character for me. You know what I mean?
What was your first audition like? Actually, better first question. When did you start acting? How long have you been doing it?
Professionally? I think it was 2001. My career, the trajectory that I took is not a normal one. I am very, very lucky. Very, very blessed at how it happened. A couple of people told, like, it initially started with, I was playing football in university, and somebody called us like, hey, they need football players for this movie. You want to come out and audition? I'm like, no. And then I told a buddy of mine that he's like, yeah, they called me to do this audition thing. And they're like, oh, are you going to go? I'm like, no, it's all the way downtown. I don't want to go. Parking is terrible. He's like, go, I'll drive. Let me come with you. Do you think they'll let me audition? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't want to go. It's hot, you know, and it's just like one of those things where I was like, okay, fine, let's go. So we go. He gets the role. I don't. So technically it was my first audition ever. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get the role. Then he went on and he got another role. And these were kind of like special skills background. Right? You didn't have any lines, but you were there a lot. And then he's like, I was never interested in it until my buddy says to me, too bad you're not good enough as an actor to do this. Like, I wasn't even an actor. But now that you're challenging me, it's like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Fuck yeah, man.
Right? And then I made a phone call to one agent, and the agent picks up the phone. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a presentation. He's like, do you have any experience? I'm like, no, but click. He hangs up on me. I'm like, this. Got angry. So the second agent I called, I'm like, hey, listen, I'd like to do summer presentation. Do you have any experience? I'm like, yes. Played football at University of Toronto, and we did some commercial shoots. We did some other stuff, like in front of camera. We also, as a martial artist, I've done a lot of live demos in different places, and I have like 2 or 3 magazine spreads where they're showing, not me, but my Sifu will be showing stuff on these magazines. It's like, how did you get my number? And I tell the guy's name that I got the number from. He's like, are you as big as him? I'm like, give me 5 minutes of your day. I walked in. He says, please tell me you're Pedro. I'm like, I am. He's like, what are you doing on Wednesday? I'm like, you tell me. This was a Monday. Walk in on Monday. He had set me up and cast me because he was helping cast this movie. And I was in the movie on Wednesday. So that normally doesn't happen. You don't normally go in and you get an agent on Monday and then your first day on set, it's a Wednesday. So I was very lucky with that. And that's essentially how it just kind of went through. Like, and then I, actually not true, and then I did that, and then I got the agent, I got a commercial. The first ever audition that I got from my agent, I booked, it was for this horror film. And they wanted full frontal nudity. And it was a shot of me in a shower. And the camera would go up my back, turn around, and then do a complete turnaround, and it would end with me getting killed in the shower. And it was, I believe the rate back then was going to be $60 a day. And then when I found out that it was like they wanted full nudity for like $60, I'm like, no. I booked it, but I turned it down. I'm like, I didn't know there was nudity. And they're like, okay, we'll pay him $80. I'm like, no, you don't get to see everything from right off the top for $80. And so that was my first official audition from an agent. And then there've been a lot of like really silly things that I've done in auditions. And I did a commercial. The commercial that got me full union member, I was diving into a pool full of oatmeal in boxer shorts with hearts in it.
Did you actually dive into a pool of oatmeal?
It was an inflatable pool.
Yeah.
You know the little kids' inflatables?
Yeah.
And it was full of oatmeal. But it had like a foam thing in the middle so that the whole thing wasn't oatmeal. So it would be landing on a soft foam.
Gotcha.
But it looked like it was full of oatmeal.
That's pretty cool.
That was terrible.
I've always wanted to like jump into a pool of Jell-O. Like I
have a feeling that shit would hurt.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I feel like if you actually sunk down, like when I was a kid,
wouldn't that kill you?
I like jumped into this like I guess ditch. It snowed a lot one night, and in the morning I was like in grade like 4. I don't know how old. When I was young, I just go by grades. And I jumped into this snowbank and I was like this and I couldn't move, dude. And like now, I think like, I mean, if you didn't do like a belly flop and you sunk all the way down, like penciled, you would very likely die. Like
Yeah. So how did you get out from this thing?
Oh, you know what? Someone pulled me out. It was my my cousin Greg, who I was like.
So he saved their life.
Essentially. Yeah.
Greg, thanks, man.
You know what? He's kind of a dick, bro. Like
go fuck yourself, Greg.
It's funny.
Should have let the
motherfucker
die.
No, definitely happy for that, but it's just.
Like, dude, we're talking about the dude saving your life, and you're gonna say, "Yeah, he's a dick." It's like, well, you know what?
Yeah, you know.
If it ever comes down to it again, whether you save his life or not, just don't fucking do it, man.
You know, I feel like dicks can do good things. You know what I mean?
Mine does.
Fuck, man.
It puts a lot of smiles on people's faces. Definitely mine.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really speak.
I wasn't an offer. All right, it's getting derailed a little bit.
No, it's good, man. It's good. But yeah, that's fucking dope, man. What was the first role? Was it the Exit Wounds?
No.
I saw that you did. You were like a stunt double.
I was a stunt double on Exit Wounds. Got to spend a couple of days getting the shit beaten out of me by Steven Seagal. He's actually pretty cool. A lot of people that I know that work with him don't like him.
Interesting.
I have nothing against him. He was actually super nice to me. Like to a point where we broke for lunch, and I'm walking out of my trailer, and I see Steven Seagal walking towards me. He's all fucking regal in his silk get up.
It's fucking Steven Seagal. Yeah, of course. I wouldn't
like,
expect anything less.
Man. And he like walks up to me and he's like, "Hey, I was coming to talk to you." I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" He's like, "I want to thank you, my brother, for all your hard work today." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Not at all what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But then I've been very lucky because I work with a couple of people that have been known to be a little less than friendly to work with, and I've gotten along well with them.
Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah, I know the fact that I'm like,
you don't want anybody to be an asshole. You know what I mean?
No, but sometimes there are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about maybe one?
There was this one director that I worked with. He didn't, for the first 3 days, he didn't even say my name. He was going to replace me with a background. I was living in Los Angeles, and I got flown in to do this movie. I'm doing a stunt thing, and a stunt actor role. And he looks at me, and he's like, I'm sure this is not exactly what he said, but in my head, it's like, why is this fat guy doing this stunt? And it's like, and he goes off and he's like, we're going to get that guy instead. He's like, this guy's not going to be able to do it. And then stunt coordinator comes up and he's like, yeah, listen, man, sorry, but they want to switch it up. I'm like, cool. Contract's the same, right? He's like, yeah, so I'm getting paid the same whether I do it or not.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, okay, cool. So you'll get to fly back earlier? He's like, hold on a second. Talks to the director. We're going to do a rehearsal, see if you can do it. I'm like, all right, cool. Then I end up spending a whole day getting my ass kicked by, let's say the number 2 on the call sheet, just so that I don't say
that's fair
exactly who it is.
Okay.
And he thought, because I was so big, I was like maybe 60 pounds heavier at the time. He thought I was padded. And then he ends up kicking me in the ribs because he thought like it was originally written as a kick in the ribs.
Yeah.
Kicks me in the ribs and he thought it was padded. But it wasn't. I mean, it was, but not not artificially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Terrence spent the rest of the day apologizing for it. I'm like, no, it's cool, dude. And then he kicked the ground and I sold it. Everybody comes running in. He's like, you okay? I'm like, no, yeah, that was acting. So we did that. And it wasn't until like the second or third day that the director started warming up to me. But that was a tough set to get, like, even them to say my name. But that was like, that director was the one. A little shithead. chances are I'll never work with him again. So.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta, I guess, really learn to work with all different types in doing what you're doing.
Oh yeah. And you know what the thing is, man? I am blessed with the fact that I don't really look at it as work. I'm playing make believe, man.
Yeah.
Playing dress up.
Yeah.
I've gotten to do some crazy shit that it's just fun. Right? It's the shit that we used to do as kids. You know? Some of us went around and pretending to be one thing or another. Some of us were dumbasses that jumped into freshly snowed ditches, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then next thing you know, bunch of years later, that same energy that you jumped in the ditch with, I was diving into a pool of oatmeal with.
Yeah.
And that was a 7-Up commercial, and that got me the last credit that I needed to become a full union member.
That's awesome.
So I got to play around and get paid for it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Feel like you're
Oh, good. Yeah.
living the dream, dude.
It is, man.
Yeah.
It so is. That's one of the things is, if I'm on set and someone's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? You need anything?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay, man." You know, if you hear me complaining on set, something very, very wrong is going on. Because it's like, it's a blessing. It's truly a blessing to be able to work in that kind of field where it's like I keep saying, it's playing and it's art and it's business all rolled into like this happy place.
Would you have any like advice for anybody that would like to break into the industry?
Don't do it. Don't do it. It sucks. Okay, with everything that I just said,
Yeah.
it sucks. For every one good day, there's 100 shitty days. All these auditions that you don't get, all these rejections that you don't, that you're getting, all this stuff that you doubt yourself every single day. Am I too this? Am I not that enough? But, I mean, I just finished saying it, that it's great playing. So when you get it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's one good day for every 100 shitty days.
Yeah.
But that one good day makes up for like 200 shitty days. So advice is to as to what to do. I mean, if you're still with it, and even if I say don't do it, because most of it sucks, and if you still want to do it, just do it. Go in and do it. It's like you take some classes, get some pictures, and go in. Because people say, like, if someone looks this way or that way, they'll be better served for whatever it is. It's like, with film now, it's like everything. You need everything. I mean, you wouldn't exactly see me in the cover of a magazine looking the way that I do. But I made a career looking the way that I do. So there's room for everybody. You just gotta be willing to put up with those 100 shitty days.
You've got, I think, too, like a very friendly giant, like everyman kind of vibe.
It's because there's a camera pointed at me, man.
But even not, man. Even the first time I met you, I didn't even know that you were performing that night, and I was just there, and I was like fucking coming from another show, and I was like just super stoned, and it was like, the first time I met you,
an hour and a half late getting into the venue.
Oh, that was brutal, but like I was standing outside, I was like, this guy's fucking funny, like I wonder if he's a comedian, and then you performed, and I was like, oh, that fucking totally makes sense. Yeah, like, of course he is. Yeah.
Yes.
What got you into stand-up?
I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. And she's like, you know what I always wanted to try is stand-up comedy. I'm like, do it. She's like, would you do it with me? I'm like, yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay. She's like, when do you want to do it? She's like, what? I'm like, I worked at clubs for a long time. I worked security for a long time, like throughout my youths. So I've met a lot of people. And then I texted somebody who used to run a comedy club. I'm like, hey, can we get into your open mic? He's like, Yeah, I'm like, okay, there's 2 of us. Can we get in on this? In how much time do you need? And to prepare? She's like, oh, I don't know, 3 weeks. I was like, can we get 3 weeks? She's like, yeah, I'll put you on. Just remind me. I'm like, okay, thanks. It's like, okay, 3 weeks from now, we're gonna have 5 minutes each at this bar.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay, let's do it. So 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, oh shit, we're doing the stand-up thing. I should start writing some jokes. And I thought to myself, it's like, the worst thing that could happen is I fall in love with this thing. Because if I get up and I suck.
It's such a, yeah, I like that.
And then I did something that was cool to try, and I sucked. And I don't have to do it again. And I remember going on, and this was at Yuck Yucks on Richmond, is it Richmond? The one downtown
In Toronto, yeah.
And the lights, you don't see anything on there, and it's like, this is my first time on a stage like this. I get up there and I look around, and all I see is lights. I can see silhouettes of people.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking terrifying. And I hear people laughing. I'm like, that was out loud. And I hear people laughing some more. I'm like, oh shit! And it's like, that escaped my mouth somehow, right? So it was like, it was a cool thing. And then I went in and I did it. I wrote a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, and it worked, and I loved it. I loved it. It's like, we get, like, you know, people get that rush from doing stage, acting on stage. I never really did that. I never did the stage acting. Mm-hmm. I work on a movie in January, in 1 year, and, you know, you don't see it till September. And half the time, 99% of the time, I'm out in the room when people are watching it. Mm-hmm. So you don't get to see what happens. But when you're standing there and you're by yourself, and then you say something and people laugh, mm-hmm. It's amazing.
Yeah.
When you say something and people don't laugh, it's not so much amazing. But it's like, you definitely know that you're alive.
Yeah. And again, that's also something that happens way more often, I feel like, than not. Like, for me anyway. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm fairly decent, but like, I don't know. You know, when you work through new stuff, and it's sometimes you don't come at it from the right angle, and I don't know, man. I feel like at least half the time it's you not getting what you want on stage. You know, at least.
It's like when you throw out your best. It's like fighting. Right? Because I look, one of the things I got into acting is because I had martial arts background, right? Like, which I mentioned. Imagine punching somebody with your best possible punch, and they just stand there and look at you. Mm-hmm. It's like you throw your joke. This is my grand slam joke, and it's like,
yeah,
and it's crickets. And I was like, oh. You start looking for like the eject button.
There's nothing. Gotta keep on trucking.
You just gotta keep doing it, and it's like, I remember one time I was on doing this thing, and it just wasn't going. Things weren't clicking, and it's like, the setup was terrible for it. And it's like, looking around, and it's like one person sitting right here. It's like, so, if not even intimate, it was just like people. It was just almost abusive how the place was set up. People like just below me checking their phones. People over here, we had a group of like girls doing bottle service, and then just like standing up pouring shots in each other's mouth. And I'm like, yeah, that's my time.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, okay, and it's like, sometimes it wasn't going, and then I started thinking, it's like, would a professional stick through this and finish it? Because I had like a few minutes left, and I'm like, you know what? You don't seem interested in what I'm saying. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Right? No more Pedro for you. Right? Took my Pedro and I walked away with it, right? And I was like, and then I started thinking, it's like, okay, so in this case, would a professional go through with it and do it? But then I started thinking a professional wouldn't put themselves in a situation where they're not, where it's not set up for them to succeed. You take a look at the place before. I mean, I know that in the level where I'm at right now is one of those things. Is like, oh, you get some time. It's like, oh, okay, cool, I'll take it. Right? But it's like, which is kind of like where I'm supposed to be. But a lot of the times I'm like, go in and I see a mic, and I feel the energy of the room, and I'm like, no. I'm like, maybe I should and be able to learn how to fight through this. But this is tough enough to do without having to fight people who don't want to be there. Sometimes these are at restaurants where people don't know there's a comedy night going on.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
And then they're sitting there, it's like they walk in, and the next thing you know, like a whole bunch of weirdos are standing out there with a microphone. And it's like, I just want my chicken wings and a couple beers.
Yeah.
And these guys keep talking all this shit about how shitty dating is. Like, I'm on a date right now. I'm living it, right?
Yeah.
So it's been that thing where I kind of just limit those, and it's like, maybe I'm just spoiled, and I'm like, I want the room to feel nice.
It's a totally different thing when you're actually performing for people that have come to laugh versus what you're saying. And what you're saying happens a lot in Toronto. Like it's pretty much unavoidable. But I mean, you can definitely minimize it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I did a show in Brampton where I felt like that. And it wasn't very packed, but it was a big place. And everybody that came in sat at the completely different end of, like, the place, you know? There was a few audience members and stuff like that, obviously. But the new people that came in, I was just like, like, certain... And, like, also, like, certain people shouldn't be... I think performing, like, you know, read the room, like you're saying. Like, certain people don't know how to do that, and they'll, you know, go up at a restaurant and start doing, like, fucking, you know, like, rape material or, like, fucking, I don't know, fucking kids material. Just, like, super dirty shit, and it's like, hey, man, like, it's just not the place. Yeah. And luckily, I haven't really run into anything. Like, I'm rolling up on a year of producing shows, and I've never really... I had someone basically just say they were going to fuck this guy's girlfriend or some shit, and I just kind of came out and I was like... And I, like, grabbed his hand and I was like, sorry, man. You know, I just kind of, like, made a joke of it, right? But, like, even then, that's not too serious. Yes. I haven't run into anybody where I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to have to, like, cut them now.
Yeah.
Like, get off the stage, you know? But... It does happen.
Yeah, I was going to do this an open mic thing. And I walk in, and there's a family with 3 kids. And I'm like, I can't do it. And then, like, the person that was running it says, like, oh, no, it's okay. They don't speak English. I'm like, they're telling you that. Yeah. I'm telling you, these little shits understand, man. And then she's like, so you don't want to do it? I'm like, look, if you can still put me on when they're gone, then I'll be happy to. I just don't want to do it, in front of them. Because, they're going to grow up, hunt me down, and try to kill me when they're grown-ups, right? It was something that I said that scars them for life. Also, like, a thing is, like what you said, when people are there and they're looking for comedy, they're open to laugh. They're going there hoping to laugh. Yeah. When you go to some of the open mics, and sometimes it's just other comics, and they're just...
Those are the worst.
Make me laugh.
It's almost like I
dare you.
I totally agree, dude.
Yeah.
It's almost like, for me, that's kind of like how I feel what you're saying. Like, I avoid a lot of open mics that I know are just comedians, just because I'm like, I need to know if my shit's good. If I'm going to an open mic, it means I'm trying out some new shit. Yeah. And I need to know if it's good. That's why I'm there. You know, and comedians aren't going to give you that.
Yeah, you got to try it out. Yeah, you got to try it out on real people. Yeah. Which is a thing that I've always hated when they have casting for commercials. Like, oh, we're looking for real people, not actors. It's like, fuck you. Last I checked, I'm pretty real. This is just kind of like the...
Yeah, what actor isn't a real person?
Exactly.
That's a very odd requirement.
Well, now when you look at certain movies, there's less and less real
representation.
Well, I'm not going to get into the representation. I'm talking about real actors. Okay. Like when you CGI people, like the Darth Vader's voice on the Obi-Wan show is a computer.
Okay.
That they got a whole bunch of the original, and then they just made it like somebody else. They still credit him for the thing, but it was a computer.
Because he's dead now, right?
No, he's still alive.
Oh, he is? So what? Oh, that's so odd that they would...
It's much cheaper.
Okay, who does the voice?
I was hoping you didn't ask that, because
I don't really... I'm not super into Star Wars, so I, like, if, you know...
Okay, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my Star Wars fan card. James Earl Jones.
Ah, there you go. Yes.
Yes, was also Mufasa.
Okay.
And originally the voice of CNN.
Oh, yes.
This is CNN.
Yeah, okay.
Great voice.
I do remember that, like, 90s.
Yeah, when it started, yes.
Yeah, man. When people trusted it, I feel like. Or I don't even know if they did, but as a kid, I felt like...
It was new. You know what? I think that is... I mean, we're like, I try not to take it political on things, but I think that was the time when things changed. I remember as a kid, news were just somebody going in there, this shit happened, that shit happened, and that shit happened.
Yeah.
Right? And then whoever was named, Murdoch, whatever his name is, changed news to news entertainment. Because that's what they were able to do 24 hours. Before it was just, you got 45 minutes, you know, every night at like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock that repeats it.
Yeah.
And someone just going off like, all this shit happened. Now it's like, this monster did this thing to these poor people.
Yeah, it's always like trying to force you to feel a certain way.
Yes.
And that way is usually not a way you want to feel. You know what I mean?
It's like, you watch whichever way that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like, say, it's like for me, like, I will watch, you know, say if I watch CNN because they're fat guy friendly. Right? And then, you know, Fox might be not so fat guy friendly. Right? So I'm not going to watch the one that's not friendly to us.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
All right. And everyone has their own thing that they're...
Whatever it is that they lean on. Whatever, I guess, technically, whatever side they lean on. Left or right or middle. Like, that's, you know, how we're being divided now.
Yeah. Everything seems like... My sense, like, yo, everything I do isn't some political act. Like, I'm just...
Right.
It's so weird how everything's become...
Yeah.
All right, dude. Guess we'll try out some of these snacks and get into our top 5.
All right.
Is there anything you can't eat?
Anything with sugar in it.
You can't eat anything with sugar.
Is that all sugar and snacks type of things?
Oh, man, you know
what? I mean,
what?
I could. I just, you know.
You know what? Fuck the treats, bro. I don't know.
I mean, I could eat it. What do you have? I mean, I don't want to.
Well, we don't have to eat them. It's not necessarily...
All right.
We can see
we
what
can,
things are. I think these are a cracker. Those are...
cheese snack.
And what's this?
Alright.
Let's see. I'll see what's in these.
Okay.
It'll tell us.
So it's like a little book that tells you...
Yeah, because all the writing's in Japan? Or in Japan.
In Japan.
In
so it didn't clear customs and it went back? So you can't see it, but it's all blank because the writing, all the ink stayed in Japan.
Don't ruin the illusion, bro. We're in Japan right now, guys. We film Pillow Talk from Japan. Okay, so... salty and crunchy rice snacks. They seem good.
That's that one?
Yeah, that's that one. And then that one is just like...
it's like
dried
cheese.
Like a Ritz sandwich, kind of. Right. Japanese Ritz sandwich.
All right.
You think you'd be good with those two?
Yeah, we're good.
Are you diabetic?
Huh?
Are you diabetic?
No, I'm just supposed to be trying to drop some weight for this.
Oh, bro, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
Man. I'll just work out a little extra today.
You just have a little bit here.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on.
Try her out. Alright. Oh shit, he has a fucking pocket knife.
Doesn't everybody?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. Well, I have one.
Tools.
But I don't have it. Like, I don't carry it on me.
I always carry it.
Okay, there's definitely no sugar in this.
Does that say something to the taste of it, or are you enjoying it?
It's not bad.
We got like broken.
Is it just one thing?
I just broke it into thing. Are we like switching up and seeing?
Yeah, let's do it up. Try that out. I imagine this cheese thing is better. What do you think?
Well, I haven't tried this one, but
you like it? This is like weirdly sweet.
It's got like it's like a cheesy or Cheetos with like a filling, like a sweet filling inside.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a little odd.
Oh, this is cool.
Oh, I dropped a piece.
Oh, man.
Fuck me.
So what are your top 5 snacks that you've had with this?
Snacks? Oh, man, I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin. I've been doing it for like 2 years. I'd have to really think about it.
Any of them were terrible?
Yeah, like there's in every month they put some Kit Kats in. And so I've had like mango Kit Kat and like strawberry champagne Kit Kats, and like some of them are just bad, man.
I went to a place, ice cream place, in Santa Monica when I was living in LA. And they had the weirdest flavors. They had like pickle ice cream.
How was it?
I don't know. I didn't try that
didn't
shit,
try it?
man.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Do you guys have anything more vanilla?
I'd be so curious.
Vanilla? I ended up getting some fruity stuff. Nobody got the pickle one because, one, they were expensive, and they were very picky about giving away samples. It was like, you had to commit.
Okay.
So I just got like some, like,
stuff you knew was gonna be
the stuff that I need, like I don't know if it was like mango, strawberry, and like something. And it was like something fruity that I'm like, okay, it's like I asked, do you have anything more vanilla? Like vanilla. Like, no. We don't have vanilla here. I'm like, well, I apologize.
Go to Baskin Robbins, sir.
Yeah, go to that. I mean, it's like, and I'm like, okay, cool, give me this one. And it was okay. And it's one of those things that people line up for a long, so they don't have a lot of time to give you. Like, you can't go in there and taste everything because they're like, you got 200 people waiting for you, man.
Yeah, like,
pick up,
keep it moving.
Yeah, keep it moving. And if you argue with them, like, no ice cream for you.
yeah, there's that place for sure. Seems like it.
And they can get away with it because they have like 200. Like, I remember working at clubs, like, and in line, I'm like, I can't let you into it. He's like, you don't want my money? I'm like, you know what, dude? We got 500 people in line waiting to come in. We're okay with that, yeah. And it's just like, whoa. Mm-hmm.
All right, dude. Well, I guess we could get into top 5 foods. Did you want to start?
Yes. Carne asada tacos.
Okay. Which are?
Steak.
Okay.
Basically, steak tacos, pulled pork tacos.
Yes.
Shrimp tacos. Chicken.
You're saying all the white
tacos.
Chicken tacos. Yeah.
Chicken tacos. And sushi.
Okay.
Okay. What about you?
I love that shit. It's funny because tacos are my number one.
Yeah, but see, you clump them into one. You say tacos.
Yeah. I'm a chef, man. It's like I'm trying to not like. I have a couple that are like specific foods. Like so, number one is tacos, which is like, you know, I'm trying to cover because I just love really any that kind of flavor. Even recently, I've been getting into like the bowls just with all the taco shit.
Yes.
Like, oh my god. Yeah. So, yeah, tacos number one. And then, but my Nana soup would be number 2.
Okay.
And that's like, when she made it, it's just like kind of like a chickpea, and it has like a tomato broth with celery and carrots. It's like kind of like a she would put chicken in it sometimes, so I always just call it like, you know, my Nana's chicken soup.
Okay, so it's not like made with real nanas.
But, no, definitely not. Definitely not. It probably wouldn't be as delicious. But, yeah, it's actually kind of the reason, like, when I first started, like, my culinary journey and, like, before I went to school, like, it was recreating it was, like, a goal of mine because she passed away. And I'm, like, fucking pretty goddamn close.
Are you? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got it down. I mean, it's still, no matter what, even if I use the same ingredients, it still doesn't taste the same for some reason, like as my Nana does it. Like
it's the magic that they have is that like magic when they go in and they I don't know, they touch it and they put it in and there's some of like that magic dust goes into it and there's like something. There's gotta be something, man. Because I know my Mimi, which is my grandmother on my mom's side.
Yeah.
She owned a bar and a restaurant, and spent a lot of time there when I was a kid. And it's one of those things that is like you try to find that flavor again, the taste of your youth. See, like you went on and you try to figure out yourself. I've just been like 500 different places ordering the same thing, trying to get that, right?
No, this is garbage.
It's not.
It's like good, but it's not there, and you just like, it's just disappointment after disappointment.
Yes.
All right, I'm going, again, this is like very broad, but pasta. Like I'm talking like anything from like lasagna to spaghetti to ramen, like any kind of like, noodle. Big fan of that.
You like living on that fence.
What fence?
The fence where you don't decide what it is that you like. Not only did you cover every single pasta possible, you went like, possibly Italian pasta. You got like, Asian pastas.
Yeah,
It was like, okay, so you're not only not settling one type. You didn't even say your favorite Italian pasta. You just went all over the world.
For sure, lasagna. If I was picking my favorite pasta, I'm going lasagna.
You know what? I'm happy.
As long as it's like scratch shit, and it's not just like, I'm gonna put some fucking, canned fucking Hunt sauce in, and just like I want the sauce from scratch. Do a nice cheese mix. Maybe even do your noodle. Like lasagna noodles are pretty easy. It's just sheets, right? Like it's not super hard to make. But even a good frozen lasagna is fucking like satisfying sometimes,
Burn the corners.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, man.
That's the best.
You know what's funny? I'm happy that you said that about that, because I had a discussion a couple weeks ago. Somebody I know doesn't believe that lasagna is pasta.
Oh yeah, eh?
That it should live on its own thing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's because they have a strong love for lasagna?
I think that's what it was. And I remember throwing something and I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. Let's move on.
No, it's for sure pasta. But I can see where they're coming from. I get it. I can understand.
It's kind of gets a standalone. I don't know what it is. It's like pasta should be like pieces or noodles of things.
Yeah.
And this is a square.
Yeah.
I don't know if the presentation is.
No, definitely, because you have pasta fagioli, like pasta bakes and stuff like that, where you do the same thing. You could just do it with like penne or even spaghetti, and just cut it into squares, So it's like, it's not. Yeah, I think it's pasta.
Okay,
I would say for sure.
Fair enough. So I'll make sure to play this. Everyone's like, I told you.
Fucking told you, bro.
I told you. So what's left?
All right, shepherd's pie is my number 4. Again,
so good.
Burnt corners,
yes.
Best part. And then I'm going pizza. Just because,
pizza?
Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I love pineapple.
I love pineapple on pizza too, dude. I actually have my current closer is about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I'm like hyping it up. Like I have this like very controversial thing to say. Like people have stopped talking to me, blah, 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 this stuff. And then I burst out pineapple on pizza. It's fucking delicious. But,
nice.
Let's go comedians.
Comedians?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have top 5? And I mean, you can, if you're, you can do local, you can do famous, whatever. You can do any.
I have to go with George Lopez.
Okay.
Out of respect for the old school. Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Richard Pryor. Fluffy.
Okay. Yeah, I love him too.
And you.
buddy, put me over so hard. Not bad, sir.
Yes.
Me, I'll take it. It's bullshit, but I'll take it.
You don't want to come back on the show.
Oh fuck! I gotta change my top 5 now. But yeah.
Feel free to start with me.
Pedro, number 1. Then I'm going Joe Rogan, number 2.
Right.
And then Chappelle.
Oh, yes.
A somewhat local guy. Well, he's from Oakville originally, but he's done a lot of bigger things. Mark Forward.
Okay.
And then I'm going Carlin.
Okay.
He was kind of like my true introduction to stand-up.
Okay.
And Bill Burr.
Yes.
Yes, his new special is so good, dude.
Oh, man.
It's
I felt like
so
I was
good.
going to get canceled listening to it. Like, just
No, I mean...
I'm like, if I laugh, do I get canceled? And it's like, whatever, man. Come at me,
like
bro.
Fucking Chappelle is the most controversial comedian, and then Bill Burr is fuck. That's a hold my beer moment as well. I felt like where he's just like, hey man, like I'm just gonna talk about some shit. His abortion stuff is just so beautiful. Like it's weird to say, but like it's just such a great the way he presents it is just. I mean, I haven't heard it's the best abortion joke I've ever heard in my life. I think. So yeah, that's my list.
Nice.
What about dream roles? Now, this isn't really one that I could do. And that, when I say dream roles, like, I mean, it could be anything. It could be a movie that happened or something that you want to happen or, you know, whatever.
Wow. Okay. A Jedi.
Oh, nice.
Or Sith. I'd be leaning towards a Sith. So that's one, some sort of... something that was done that I would like to, if I were to redo, probably Leon, the Professional. I don't know if you saw that.
I haven't.
I
know of it.
He's a hitman, and he basically takes on teaching this little girl to save her life.
Okay.
A single dad.
Do you have kids?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not being hopeful that my wife leaves me. It's like, I want to play the role of a single dad, so, sweetie, if you're watching this, leave me the kids and get the fuck out of my life. Just playing something like that. I'd love to play, like, the president of a country.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
Right? Let's see, what else would there be if I were to go back and... oh, man. I don't know. Let me turn that one around on here. What role that you've seen, that you would see me being better at than the original?
Oh, you?
Yes.
Oh man.
In the little bit that we've known each other.
Honestly, I'm not gonna say Santa Claus or anything.
I'd love to. That'd be a fun role.
That. You would be... Man, it would be cool to see you in, like, one of the Home Alone Wet Bandits roles.
Oh.
Yeah, like, you're silly enough. Maybe not even, like, maybe Harry. I could see, not, like, actually, like, replacing Joe Pesci, but, like, I just mean, like,
that
playing
energy.
that a little more serious and, you know, but he's still kind of funny.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and steal that one, something with that. Is when I worked in Land of the Dead with George A. Romero.
Epic.
Yes. He said, I would love to redo Marty with you. Marty's this won an Oscar in, I think it was 1962, 63. Mm-hmm. And it's essentially about a fat guy who can't find love, and then he finally finds a girl.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, let's do that. And we try to see who had the rights to it. I think Sony has them. So if anybody from Sony is watching, let's do that.
I mean, it seems like a lot. How do you feel about, like, reboots? Because it seems like everything's, you know, getting redone. How do you feel about reboots and remakes?
The last time that I talked about this, I think I'm magical as a human being, because I said I wanted to see Peter's Dragon redone with today's technology, and they redid it, and it wasn't great.
No,
but the dragon looked pretty cool. So there's if it's something like that, there are certain movies that are made, and they're great, and just leave them alone. Leave them alone. If you want, you have ownership of this thing, and you want to keep making money from the ownership that you have of this intellectual property, make a movie in that world. You know what I mean? Like, don't go back and try to remake it, because everybody's gonna go in and compare it to the original, and you're not gonna remake something that was shitty, that didn't make any money, because it didn't make any money then. Now, if you find something that was shitty, and you can go back and make it great, then yeah, maybe do that. But I can't think of anything that would be that. I can't think of anything where the remake was better than the original. And then you have movies that get remade on a regular basis, like
Spider-Man or Batman.
Yeah, like there's so many Batmans, and there's like different elements of them. But I was thinking more like The Star is Born.
Okay.
There's one every decade.
Yeah.
Right? And that, whatever, kind of worked type of thing. I mean, at the end of the day, there was only so many stories that you can tell.
Yeah.
And they were all written by Shakespeare at one point in time.
I feel like there's a new Black Christmas movie every Christmas.
There's a new everything Christmas movie every Christmas.
Yeah.
Dude, that is the one thing
true.
that's the most of. I did Lifetime's first. They were promoting it as their first gay Christmas movie with a gay couple in it. I played one of their cousins, and I looked nothing like any of them, so I don't know. I was adopted into the family, which was great. It was a great movie, but it was like, okay, I did my Christmas movie, and I look at the breakdowns and I look at all the movies that are coming out, and there's so many of them. The one thing that I was started telling this story is, for a month, they had a new Christmas movie every night on Lifetime.
Wow.
Because people love Christmas movies, right?
Yeah.
Someone told me that this is now one of their Christmas traditions, to watch this movie because I'm in it.
Wow.
I'm like,
that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. It's like, I love that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Christmas movies as well, dude.
Because they make you feel good.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, I want to make the first dark Christmas movie.
Christmas Shoes.
Is there one?
It's so... Bro, like, I was dating a girl, like, around 10 years ago, and she was like, oh, this is my favorite movie, and, like, all this stuff happens, and you're waiting for, like, you're like, okay, it's gonna turn around, and it doesn't. The ending of the movie is, like, the person, like, the main person, like, dying and shit, and it's, like, nothing changes, bro. There's no happy ending.
That's amazing.
Christmas Shoes.
It's kind of like...
I can't even remember if it was a good movie. I just remember being so angry at the ending. Like, what? This is not a Christmas movie. It's live.
This is what I felt like every Christmas. Alright? Nothing like being like that fat little immigrant kid waiting by like that tiny little Christmas tree, waiting to open up a gift, and then there's nothing. And it's just like, so this is my Christmas. So that's what I'm going to write. I'm going to write like a really shitty, sad Christmas for the rest of us. For those of us that did not have the happy Christmas.
Do it! What about directors, man?
Well, I mentioned George.
Yes.
George A. Romero.
And that's amazing that you got to work with him too. Like, I mean,
man, this guy.
That's awesome.
He was so awesome. He's we were doing this, promoting the movie, and then we got to go to London, and we're supposed to go to London, Paris, and Munster, Germany. The Paris leg of the trip got removed because there were some riots or something, as there usually is, apparently.
Yeah.
And so we were in London for a long time, and then we got to talking about musicals, and then he's like, "Which was your favorite?" I'm like, "You know what? I've never really seen a musical." He's like, "What? How do you call yourself an actor and not have seen a musical?" I'm like, "You know, we don't work much, right?" And those tickets are expensive. And he's like, "You know what? We're in London, England. What better place to fix that?" So he got the group of us tickets to go watch Les Mis.
Oh, that's
Dude.
awesome. I've seen that, actually.
Oh my God.
It's one of the few I've seen.
Dude, he gets us these tickets. He made a phone call, got us tickets. I don't know if Universal, paid for, or he paid for, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This was yours." And we're like 10, 11 rows back. And I'm right in the middle of the house. And I'm just watching. It's like perfect outline on the thing. And I was just like... And then at one point, something happens and I start crying. And I didn't stop. Like, right through intermission, I kept crying. Like, this lady sitting beside me, who I didn't know, bought me ice cream.
Like, how are you crying? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, so, and he's like, "Okay, so I got my tough guy in the movie crying for an hour and a half straight." He's like, "I never thought I would see that," right? And it's like, but that's the type of person that he was. That I want to work with, Guillermo del Toro. Like, I've met him and I've been on his show, but on The Strain. Mm-hmm. But didn't really get to work with him. I'd say Pamela Fryman, because she directed, I think, is every episode of How I Met Your Mother. And I did the one episode, and she was just great, and it's like they're all funny.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it's like, even though I love to work with her again, you know, if ever happens, working with Ricky Gervais.
Wait, what was that on?
Special Correspondence.
Oh, wow.
This guy he's so fast. He's seen the movie in his head
mm-hmm.
like a million times. So he knows exactly what he wants. And then everybody was complaining on set that there was just not enough overtime, because he would get all the stuff that he needed to get during regular time.
He's efficient, yeah.
He's efficient. He's good. He knows what he wants. And he turns it on and off. Like, you know, he's like, okay, director thing. He's like, okay, I'm going to go be funny now. How many's that? 4?
I think, I don't even know. It doesn't
matter. All right, okay, cool. So we're going to throw somebody else in there. I don't know, you. If you're a director and you're looking to cast, you could be my next favorite director. Whoever that is.
All right, well, I am. My number.
You mentioned that you were gonna. You one day might wanna do it. Is there anybody that you would want to go in and take a?
I mean, yeah. I would say, like, for sure, I would say if I was actually working, my dream director would probably be Kevin Smith. Probably. He's my number 2, though. Christopher Nolan would be a close second, but he is my favorite director. I've just been into Kevin Smith for so long, and I've been on the journey with him, and I'm just a really... I don't know. I kind of like everywhere he goes. Like, some things are obviously better than others, but I just enjoy that he's just doing what he wants to do, and he's found his audience, and, like, again, living the dream. He's just doing what he loves to do, and that's...
giant kid playing.
Right.
Goes back to the beginning of it all, right? He does the movies that he wants to make, and he's so freaking happy. He's a fan.
Yeah, you could tell.
He's a fan.
Yeah.
He's like, he's on there and he's giddy. He's giddy, and it's just like, Robert Rodriguez for me would probably be my number 5, because he's like, I love the stuff that he's made.
I'd say Columbus is on there. Chris Columbus.
Okay, yeah.
Home Alone's like my favorite movie of all time. Then I'm curious how you feel about him, but like I like Zack Snyder. You know, I enjoy, like, I don't actually, his style is something that I don't really like across the board. Like, I'm not a big, like, I don't know if you could compare the two. I find them a little different, but I know some people compare them, but like Michael Bay. Not a big Michael Bay fan. You know, like, it's very, like, action heavy. Like, how do you feel about Zack Snyder?
I feel that Zack Snyder makes movies that you go into the movie theater, you get yourself some popcorn, and you turn your brain off and just enjoy what's going on screen. And sometimes that's what I want to do in a movie. Mm-hmm. You know, there's movies that you want to go in there and you want to feel something. Other movies that you want to go in there and you want to learn something. And there's sometimes you're like, you know what, man, I've had a shitty week. And I want to turn off my brain and just go watch something that's just going to make me go, ooh.
Yeah. It's like cool. A spectacle kind of.
Yes,
I got you.
Like, exactly. It's a spectacle. It's a movie. It's just like, some movies are meant to, like, you know, you see it on the big screen and it's just like, ooh, ah. And then you could just go in and just enjoy that for that.
Yeah. I miss theaters when they were closed over the pandemic. I miss them, man. And then there was, like, a brief thing where they were, like, open, but you couldn't get any of the food and shit.
Yeah, dude, that's why
What was that about? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying,
man. That's why I go, man. It's like, people are like, I remember, like, this girl I was dating, she's like, you know, we go to the movies a lot. I'm like, yeah, it's because I like popcorn. I don't even like movies.
Fall asleep half the time.
Yeah, I was like, I eat my popcorn, fall asleep, and I'm like, oh, so how did it end? Did the butler do it?
And I'm going to say Judd Apatow. He's not really doing a lot anymore, but he just had a string of just hits like a while back, and they were just really solid, and I liked most of them.
Yeah. You know who I really liked? Adam McKay.
Adam McKay? What movies has he done?
Brothers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
what else has he done?
He did a basketball one recently. I haven't seen it. He did a basketball one. He also did the one, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a Netflix thing where the world is getting destroyed and nobody believes them.
Oh yeah, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
I do know. I can't remember what it's called either. I actually enjoyed that.
That was so good. And it's one of those things that you just shut off your brain and it's like, oh yes, this is supposed to be so and so. That's funny. Right?
But it definitely didn't end it the way I thought it was going to end, but I liked that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wrote this film and I kill my lead.
Mm-hmm.
And George read it and he's like, you can't kill him. I'm like, I can. He's like, no, you can't kill him. Like, I have to kill this dude. He's like, what about the sequel? I'm like, there's no sequel. He dies. That's how it ends.
Yeah.
I was like, nobody's going to buy it. I'm like, well, let's us make it. He's like, okay. He signed on to direct it. He's like, okay, I'll direct it, but he's going to live. I'm like, oh. We ended up not making it.
Yeah.
But.
Would you have caved to have George? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually caved, and I wrote it into a trilogy. He dies in the second one.
Okay.
Yeah. Shit. I should have done it.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He does not die. But it's like you go on through the third one, where it's like one of those things. Because this is the way that I picture it. I can afford me on the first one. I'm going to be more expensive on the second one. By the time the third one hits, I'm going to be such a big star, I'm not going to be able to afford myself. I'm just going to have the odd flashback. Or I'll do like the Godfather thing, where they hire somebody else to play a younger version of me.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah.
I'll get that kid from Modern Family.
Oh, shit, that's hilarious, dude. That's so funny. That could work.
That will work, man. Like, yeah. You know what I did one time? Everybody was posting, like, kid pictures of themselves. So I got a picture of him and I put it on my Instagram.
You did it.
Yes,
People
man.
thought it was you.
People thought it was me.
Wow, that's so funny, dude. All right, man. What about superheroes? We'll finish off. It doesn't have to be traditional either. It can be like, a friend or fucking, anybody, musician.
That's funny that you said that, because it's like you set it up. It ruined the whole punchline that I was trying to think about. Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
So I'll start with that. No, I mean the Hulk.
Okay.
Right? The Hulk, because he's big and angry.
Yeah.
Reminds me of me. Wolverine.
Yeah.
Because he's angry. I'm gonna say Miss Hall, who was a teacher of mine that helped me get rid of my accent when I was a kid.
Nice, man.
Yeah, and Batman, because he need that, and Aquaman, because I know what it's like to be the odd one out that nobody really likes. When I was like a little kid, I was picked on a lot.
Okay.
And I find that a lot of people pick on Aquaman.
Yeah.
So I relate to him.
Yeah.
How about you?
All right, I'm going Batman, number 1. I kind of cheated and grouped all the Ninja Turtles in one for my number 2. It's a cheat. It's,
you know what? We've gotten used to that now. Because you named pasta.
It's a consistent theme.
I can see that. It's like,
Paul doesn't follow the rules.
Yeah.
This guy's
you make the rules, you can break them, right? All right. So
Ninja Turtles.
The Super Friends. The Avengers.
No, I wouldn't do
all
that.
of them.
Because like the Avengers have like solos. Like I'm a big comic book dude, so it's like you never really read. There's maybe like one shot in the history of the Ninja Turtles that's like about the individuals. Usually it's just
all
like
together.
Yeah. So, and that was like just how I got into that world. Anyways, Red Hood is my number 3.
Wow.
I'm going Arsenal. I'm actually a big fan of like humans that fill that role, the superhero role, and don't really have powers, but still somehow like hang with the ones that do.
Okay.
I just find their stories a lot more interesting. They have more to risk, and and yeah. So Arsenal, and then Spider-Man, number 3.
Okay.
Got to do Spider-Man. All right, bro. We can finish on one of these bad boys. You grab one, I'll grab one. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, see, this one's
there's
not.
a lot of writing.
This one's not good for you. Okay, this one's good.
Ooh, wow.
All right, I can go first.
Okay.
How do you feel about mistakes and failure?
I feel a mistake is a failure only if you don't learn from it.
Okay. I totally thought you were coming at it from a different angle. I was just getting ready.
Yeah, I feel that you need those, man.
Yeah.
If you just constantly win, you're not going to get any better at anything.
Yeah.
And you're going to be stuck doing the same thing over and over again, even if you're winning. I find that success in the wrong thing and then at the wrong time can actually hurt you. You need to make mistakes because you can get very, very good at something. Starbucks used to have these sayings on their cups. The way I see it, Starbucks, the way I see it, number 126, said, success in the wrong area could be worse than failure in the right one. Something to that effect. Because you get money, you get accolades, and you're just doing the wrong thing. You're not working at your genius.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So instead of writing a movie or a novel, you're writing silly little sayings on the side of Starbucks cups.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said, man. I feel like that's when you learn the most, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I'm going to put on these rose-colored glasses. I'm going to go with this one because this is very, very topical. When has your physical appearance, skin color, nationality, etc. affected how others treat you?
Oh, no, don't put it away. Yeah, we'll do the other one, too.
Oh.
It's interesting because I was raised in foster homes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, like, the only white guy. My foster dad was Jamaican. And, like, my foster brothers were Jamaican. And one was from, like, Trinidad and Tobago. And so, like, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm white. Fuck. And I haven't... Yeah, right? Surprise, motherfucker. So, like, I haven't faced a lot of things that, you know, the people of color have. But, like... I think that, like, upbringing... Just, like, it kind of affected who I am and the way I talk and the way I dress. So that, like... I don't know. Down the road, I was maybe not very easy to understand. I feel like some people might have said I was, like, trying to act black, you know, early in high school and stuff. And it was like, well, it's just the way, like, I pronounce certain words because it's just how I hear them pronounced all the time, or, like, just the way that I dress or whatever the case may be. And it's like, I'm just like, this is what I'm around. I'm not wearing like a fucking do-rag and like, you
this
know,
is what I know,
and
right?
Shit,
yeah, this is what I grew up with. These, yeah.
So there were definitely times that, you know, you get questioned stuff. And like it's funny, all my foster brothers always wanted me to get dreads, you know, and they're all...
Did you ever?
No, but I was like... Really, I had my hair so long, man, and I was doing something. I was going on vacation, and the person that was supposed to dread it couldn't come through before I went on vacation. I was like, fuck it, shaving my head. I'm not going to look like a mess. And I just cut, like, it was past my shoulders.
Right.
And I just cut it off. But the only people that ever gave me shit about it were white people.
Right.
To be honest.
Yeah.
You know, all my, like, they were all like, yeah, yo, you fucking do that. That's dope. They never were like, yo, don't mean fucking cultural appropriation, like that kind of thing. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess, does that kind of answer the question? I feel like I trailed off a little bit.
A little bit, but, you know, it was safe enough to say. And close enough to an answer.
Okay. All right. You got to stay on track.
Exactly. You know? It's like, you love that living on that fence.
Consistency is key, bro.
That's the one thing I got to tell you. Yes.
All right. What is one of your favorite places and what makes it special?
The ocean.
Okay.
If I got to be specific, the Pacific. Because it rhymes with specific. No, I loved, when I lived in Los Angeles, I loved going to the ocean and just getting energy from it. Whenever, I was having this conversation last night, whenever I have a big decision to make, I feel like I go into the ocean and dip my toes into like a billion years of knowledge. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, probably does nothing for me, but it makes me feel a little...
No, that does something.
More connected. I mean, I don't know. You know what, man? I apologize. I don't know why I took that away from it because it was like, this is a safe. I'm getting a little bit of the staying on the fence thing.
It's rubbing off. That's what happens.
Yeah. So I'm like, being connected to this makes me feel like I'm gonna make a better choice, or it's like I just like being surrounded by all of that and so much nature and so much power.
Yeah.
And all of that is just it's amazing.
No, I agree, man. My favorite place would be Vancouver Island. And admittedly, bro, like I haven't traveled a lot. Like you've been a lot of places. I've really only been around Canada.
Right.
And like I lived on Vancouver Island for like a few years, and really it just eventually I'd like to maybe like retire and go like live there, when I can, and I don't have to fucking do anything, or I don't want to do anything. And it's just like that's where my Nana was when she passed away. That's where she lived for like a long time. I moved out there with her, and it just reminds me of her. I got engaged at one point, and like I went down to the beach that like me and my Nana, like I would smoke joints and she would smoke her cigarettes, and we'd like just hang out on the beach or like walk. I literally like asked my ex to fucking marry me there just because like that it's just that place for me, It's such a meaningful place, and that's why.
Yeah, it's like a place where you can talk about anything or say nothing.
And just nature, man. The lifestyle out there, like people just it's so different. I don't like the city, but at the same time I don't. Like I'm not in the heart of Toronto, so I'm like at a safer distance. But
if there was a fence around Toronto, this would be it. I'm like right in the middle of that, and I'm like every time I get a chance to get out of it, I'm like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I still a lot better place than most places that I know to live in, but it's it's every chance I get to be around a little bit of nature, I'm good. I mean, I don't want to go in and have to fucking fight a bear.
Fair. Yeah. I would never want to do that.
I only get into fights that I think I can win.
Some people do that shit for fun, too, man. Like,
you know what? If I'm gonna go, that's how I want to go. Like I want like a bear fighting a bear.
That's some gangster shit. Right there.
That's it, man.
I would always feel like I want to go with like my girlfriend sitting on my face and just being like, "All right, I'll tap your leg when I can't breathe," and then I just don't tap her leg. And it's like Paul died eating pussy. Like that'd be a great way to die. But it's not as gangster though. It's not as badass.
No. I'm trading. And I want that. Pedro went eating pussy.
Do you want to do your last one?
Yes.
Then we'll fucking get out of here, bro.
You can spend a day with anyone from the past or the present. Who would you choose, and what will you do?
100% it would be my Nana.
Right.
And I would want to... It'd be like a dinner date kind of deal. And I'd want to make the soup for her.
Nice.
And have her critique it. And then I would take her to see me fucking perform, man.
Oh, dude.
That's what I would do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What about you?
I can't beat what you just said, man.
I was such a shit person when she was alive too, man, and like just her dying was actually like a turning point in my life.
Yeah.
And she never really got to see like me like chasing something and just being. I was very selfish back in the day, man.
Right.
You know, I lived on my own for a long time, so it was just like, I think it kind of came at a necessity, and it was kind of hard to break away from that.
Yeah.
And her dying was kind of like, fuck, what have I been doing? And it was, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to answer, I'm going to borrow a little bit from you. Is my cousin told me that one time he was hanging out with my Mimi, my grandmother, and she was watching TV that she used to do a lot. And she pointed at the TV and says, "That's what Pedro should do. He should work in movies." I would love to just be in there, just watching this moment. I don't necessarily need to be with them.
Mm-hmm.
Just be a fly on the wall
Mm-hmm.
when she said that, because then that, like, hearing it told to me drives me. Now, if I would have been able to hear her say it, did I think I'd have a wall full of Oscars? But, you know, so if, like, not the, you know, like, but to be able to go back and just see this moment in life happen, it would be like, oh.
I love that, dude.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, man, I guess you can let these people know where to get at you and check you out if you want.
You can go to funwithpedro.com, and that will lead you to just about everything that I do. You know, it's a nice little, you go there and you can just pick where you want to go from there and have a little fun with Pedro.
Brother, I really appreciate you.
Oh,
It's been an
Thank
honor.
you, man. This was awesome. Thank you.
Like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%. And by The Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. Go get your tickets to the monthly show. Go get your tickets to Lafiteria. And I'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. Peace the fuck out.